2019 Mountain Dew GSL Season 2 Codex Renaissance.
Okay, so we've got Parting advanced to the round of 8. We've got 3 Protosses in the round of 8. We've got 4 Protosses in the Final 4 of the KSL.
Yes.
We now know the true ending of StarCraft.
Yeah.
The aliens are going to win all along. Of course the aliens are going to win. How could we ever have thought that humans or an insect race would have won?
You know what's...
In the end, the aliens have lasers, they can teleport, they can turn the units into data and put it into warp prism and warp it in some other places.
If one of their units dies, it becomes a more powerful unit. Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Hey, look, and here's the thing that's wild to me. I've been telling people for 20 years that Protoss is the strongest.
And when you were first doing that, you were outside of a subway station in New York with no shoes and a cardboard sign that said that. But here you are now.
Yeah.
You truly were a prophet. They should never have laughed at you, Artosis.
Never. I knew it. All right. Thunderbird is going to be played on map 2.
Thunderbird?
So sick.
Wow. Why do we have these weird, this map name? I don't know. There's no time. We're going into game number 1. Let's get rid of one of these players.
Newbie, Deer. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
Ooh, I'm excited. These are the 2 that I thought were going to win the group, and now I'm so excited for one of them to get eliminated.
Yeah, man.
This is going to be a great game.
I can see the life in you, Artosis.
Oh,
I've seen you in all states. I've worked alongside you for so long. When Artosis is tired, he looks like one of those, you know that ride, the Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
You know, you look like one of those old statues still like kind of talking, and you're going through your little routine, you know? You got your little puppet head moving back and forth, but you know, it's not, right now Artosis is full of life.
You look like the guy that rides the cannon in that ride. That's what I think.
Right now, it's like Geppetto let you become a real boy, Artosis.
Yeah.
These games have been great.
Well, it's fantastic because we had like Sue Cheese and Parting in general is a cheesy player, right? And then they just played each other, and Parting cheesed him 3 times in a row, basically. Ends up winning there. But now we got like the 2 honorable macro players for the most part, right?
They're like, I'm going to play straight up.
Yeah, and I love those games too. Woo! StarCraft, yeah!
So again, let's keep in mind, guys, that Deer didn't even get to do what he planned. He lost really quickly, whereas with Sue's strategy completely and totally panning out. I guess, like, Deer kind of drug the game out. He didn't fully die in game 2, but basically he was over, you know. It was easy for Sue to get the closer. So I'm hoping that we can see what Deer actually had planned out. Everybody's been saying he's phenomenal, he's really good. I think it's one of the reasons why Sue did the strats he did against him, because he didn't want to play a straight-up game.
I completely agree with that. I think it was a good way to kind of throw Deer off his game because, you know, Deer was eliminated by Maru last season. I actually had predicted him to beat Maru, which didn't end up happening, but he played as well against Maru as anyone did.
Yeah,
last season. So that was something, right? But yeah, it's. I think he has real potential to actually win this season if he can get out of this group. But the group right now is as stupid as can be. Right now he's playing GuMiho, who is another player that is playing the best StarCraft that they've ever played right now in an elimination match. And then he has to go up against Sue, a complete legend. So it's like, yeah, he might win the GSL or he might just lose in last place or second last place here.
Artosis, I guess one of these 2 GSL Codex champions is going to have to eliminate the other one so they can then go on and face off against a 6-time GSL finalist in the round of 16.
Yeah.
Because that's how good everybody is in this tournament.
Which, by the way, we had this 6 stat that we haven't mentioned yet. In this group, there's 50 combined round of 16s. 50.
Oh, wow.
From all 4 players? Like, how? Wow. 13, 13, 13, and 11. Round of 16s. Wow. These are good players.
By the way, Cloak is being upgraded. Robo about to finish here for Deer.
Wait, I think he's missing a Liberator and a Viking, right? And then he has one of every unit. Here we go.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Okay.
going to wreck that.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. This
Okay,
is
right
a
to the
lot of probes dying,
And look at this,
man.
the Marine and the Marauder target the Stalker, while
Yeah.
the Reaper and the Hellions could take on the Workers.
That was pretty good targeting. I think we saw a couple Stalker shots maybe hit the Hellion. Seems like a little bit of miss micro here from GuMiho. I feel like he could have done a bit more, but this was obviously a huge amount still.
Jeez, 12 probes.
Yeah.
And the Reaper's still here. I'm not done with you.
Wow. That was serious damage. 12 probes, and now the worker count is tied up. What?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
That's funny.
Now the Observer's going to go out, but well, first of all, Widowmine's going to come in and Banshee Cloak.
He's just going to walk right
Yeah.
in.
But
Casually.
don't mind if I do. I'm a Widowmine. Well,
Not as good as he was hoping for, but that's
it was
okay.
kind of fun to watch, but okay.
Sure. Oh, he's going for more probes.
I do wonder how fresh the loss is in the mind of Deer, his earlier loss, because he looked super agitated.
Well, you just watched Parting win the group, so he knows that this road is really, really hard. Okay, so it looks like he's going into Colossus Tech, probably get that +1 attack for it as well. Smart moves. GuMiho going to be careful not to scan for that a second time. No doubt.
Here comes another Observer.
Third Nexus on the way.
I'm sorry, there's no Observer over here at all,
Oh,
right? It can't be
man.
if the second one's over there. Yeah, let's actually look at what Deer looks like.
Yeah, I'm
happening.
just looking at his face. How happy.
Oh my God,
Oh my
Deer is having a bad day.
This is not going well. Loses his Sentry and 4 probes to that
Yeah.
Banshee.
The Banshee gets
Poor
out
Deer, man.
completely untouched. Uh-oh. And here's the thing, the follow-up push, this could really rock Deer.
You know what? You know what I feel like we're watching here today, right? So Su like cheesed him 2-0, and then GuMiho just ran and killed all his probes, and then did it again with a Banshee. I feel like what we're watching is a couple of adults do a bunch of magic tricks to a little kid that doesn't want to see him, and he knows how they're done, but every time he tries to speak up, they make him shut up.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? Poor Deer right now, it's like nothing in the world is fair for him. Nothing is going right. What is this push?
This is called the I do what I want push.
Yeah.
Okay, this one time I think Deer has lost so many probes. Even though he's remaking them, there's a reason why the push is doing so well. Is
Look at this.
basically Deer's been trying to reassemble an economy while GuMiho's been having his harass work, and he's now been able to assemble a push that's pretty damn scary.
And now he kills
GG.
it, like, my God. So the first attack was one of every early game unit.
Yes.
And then the second attack was one of every mid-game unit. Now, it's a good thing you left there because a battle cruiser, a Raven, and a ranged Liberator were coming next.
That's right. One Ghost too.
Yeah.
I use the EMP on the Ghost so that then my Yamato can kill this building.
All right.
GuMiho, looking good.
Deer, not as much.
Yeah. Feels bad, man. Well, let's see if Deer can really come back from the depths of hell. He'd have to win this, these next 2 games, and then he would have to win against Su, who manhandled him, who powerbombed him.
Cheesed him, though, right? So,
Artosis.
yeah.
You know my favorite kind of bird?
A Phoenix?
A Thunderbird.
Oh, a Thunderbird.
We're finally going to go to Thunderbird. One of our new maps here at the GSL. Let's see how it looks when Deer and GuMiho face off on it.
시작됩니다.
Newbie, Deer. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
You know, Tasteless, you keep mentioning that this sounds like, what, the name of a car or something, Thunderbird, and then Turbo Cruise 84.
Thunderbird sounds like something you name your motorcycle
yeah.
only if it had one of those like sidecars.
Yeah, I get
on
you.
it, you know?
For me, like this map name, the only thing I keep thinking about is, you know, if there's like an alternate TV show called Thunderbirds where the Thundercats are the bad guys.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
So looks like just a quick scout coming out here from Deer. Haven't seen too many games on this map yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of holding my breath here. I don't want to call anything right away. I just want to see how the pros are going to approach it. Keep in mind, you know, the way that map vetoes work, a lot of times in GSL, whenever we have a new map, we don't even get to see it that much because the pros, who of course are playing all day and grinding, they don't want to play on a new map. They want to play on a map they both know.
Yeah.
So the odds of one of the new maps being vetoed early on is an inevitability. And that's why we have this system where we cycle new maps in, keep certain maps here for a little bit, and then push them out. This is actually one of the things that keeps RTS in general very fresh, is if you can have a good rotation of maps, because you change a few things on a map, or you change a map entirely, it totally reconfigures how the matchups operate.
Yeah. Everything is different and fresh and new.
Yeah. It's actually something that keeps RTS games safe as they progress in the future, is that we can change the landscape, the setup. And, you know, if we start to see a pattern here, okay, clearly, you know, these really tiny maps, Zerg get rushed too hard, they can't hold it. Well, then we can adjust a map like that. So a lot of times people think that balancing just happens with patches at Blizzard, but it actually also happens within alterations of maps as well.
Yeah, it's... I love that about RTS games. You know, and there's other games that are very, very good, but I feel like what do you see new maps in regularly in esports? It's like Counter-Strike and StarCraft, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess fighting games, they have different backgrounds, but that's an aesthetic.
Yeah, that's a skin.
So definitely don't see it in League of Legends or Dota.
Yeah. Saw it somewhat in Heroes of the Storm.
RIP. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is when you have a new map, I guess, you know, Battle Royales in general, you know, you can add a new map in. It takes a long time to make one of those maps, so you can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, maps are a feature in some esports.
Not that many.
And in others, they're actually not at all. Although I guess if you take fighting games, it's much more about the various matchups that the characters have, right? I mean, if you had...
Yeah, well, every...
Smash, you have maps, but I don't know that they make new maps.
I think they probably do for the newer ones.
I actually don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't either. Okay, so poor Hellion's going to run in, and he's going to lose all his probes again, unfortunately.
Okay.
You need to have a wall against this.
Yeah, in fact, there's nothing wall-wise here.
Yeah.
I'm not even play-by-playing this. I'm just looking here sad as Deer is...
He could have even gotten more than that, I think, with slightly better execution. But look, this is why walling is very important in this matchup right now. You need that second pylon on the low ground so you can build the gateways to prevent things like that from happening. So
what's going on with Deer today? He is really not playing well.
Well, actually, for a long time, any early attacks on Deer in this matchup have been a bit of a hindrance to him. We've seen this a lot. Like last year, he had a lot of early exits where it was like a cyclone came across the map and then he died. You know, he'd have like 3 adepts and it would kill those and then kill him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure why that is the case with him. But look, here comes another one.
Oh no.
I don't know that this one's going to do as much. There's a lot of units here. Gonna fly in with this observer and see what's up. 3 racks. Lots of units being made right now by GuMiho. Not as common to see things like that, and I think that he has a pretty decent strategy against this. The Colossus tech against someone going 3 racks right now. Well, I guess it's not that uncommon. It's 3 racks after the starport's up. Anyways, GuMiho taking his 3rd CCB for a 3rd Nexus for Deer.
Well, there's so many ways that GuMiho can take this game. By the way, if Protoss is going for Colossus with Thermal Lance, which Protoss is, you can take another base, and there's actually not very much that Protoss can do to the Terran.
Yeah, it takes a while before you can get aggressive.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. Colossus is one of the few techs where Protoss really can't do anything on the other side of the map with it that's very impactful. I mean, I guess you can pick up one Colossus
What
and
about
drop
Colossicane?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Colossicane Hurricane
Yeah.
Zero Colossus unit.
Yeah, what about that, Tasteless?
Yeah, what about it?
Yeah,
Bring it on, Colossicane.
I accept your apology.
But like compared to, for instance, an Immortal, or you're going for DTs, a bunch of gateways to warp stuff in. You can't really do a lot. The Colossus is sort of meant to buffer against a lot of infantry attacking in. If they attack into you, the splash melts everything. But the fact that GuMiho came in, killed a bunch of workers off with the Hellions more than paid for themselves. Keep in mind, GuMiho won in game 1 by doing that and then pushing. This time around, he actually did the same thing and now just expands, and I think both are fine.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting how quickly this is ramping up for GuMiho. Look at that. He's got his third base now, adding the gases over there. He actually added a second starport right after his 4th and 5th Raxes. Does have that 1-1 on the way. Looks like a couple medevacs that are empty are going across. Probably more of a scout to scare him than anything. This is like how mean that he's being to Deer right now.
That's right.
He's like, I'm just going to scare him. I could put units in this and do damage, but I'd rather not.
This is the wet willy of StarCraft harasses. Uh-oh.
Oh, this is funny.
Lights out.
It's becoming a very common move at this point.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. The Colossus walks right on top of the Immortal.
Yep.
Like it's a mama penguin with the egg.
But really, the Immortal is protecting the Colossus.
Yeah, it's the opposite. It's the egg. Yeah, it's actually guarding the penguin in this case. So Templar Archives is coming. We've got armor coming down. Yeah, Storm started. So once we get the Storm out, that's the next phase where Protoss can really hold off quite a bit of the clumped units that are attacking in. Colossus is the first step. Storm is the next one.
You just made me think. You know how they're making so many cool skins for StarCraft 2 now?
Yeah.
We need Animal Kingdom skins where like that's the Colossus is a giraffe and the Immortals a rhinoceros and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
That would be amazing.
I would actually like to see that, Artos. This is actually not a bad idea.
Giant giraffes with lasers coming out of their eyes.
By the way, you guys
They're
should
from Krypton.
support those skins, by the way, guys. I mean, when people spend money on StarCraft for stuff like that, then Blizzard knows, okay, people are supporting the game.
Look at this, 4 Liberators at a time. He's starting up as 2-2. Storm is on the way, though, for Deer. And as you approach that second form of Splash, that really helps out.
If we do have a fight, we want to watch and see if the Raven can disable the Colossus. The Colossus is the key unit that allows the Protoss to actually hold their ground against the Terran. So sometimes we'll see the Protoss actually walk forward, bait the Disable out, and then run away, suffering some losses, but ultimately retreating back to the Nexus as the Disable, the Half-Life terminates. And then they'll try to hold the attack. Although I don't see Deer being very active at all here. It almost seems like GuMiho's just moving out with his pieces and setting them up on the board as he wants.
Yeah, a little bit. A couple cannons there actually very, very helpful.
Oh, this is pretty nasty.
Yeah, this is something we used to see a lot in main bases, but doing it right now at the natural and also attacking another area as well. Seems like Deer is dealing all right with it with his storm.
Oh my god.
Zone. Look, now he's actually attacking into that many liberation zones. That's not good. Look at the Liberators.
What am I seeing with these Colossi?
Yeah, not sure. A little bit sloppy there by Deer, unfortunately. I think maybe he's just thrown off from the way this day has gone.
I mean, look, it was great that he held up that attack, but yeah, when you have the Colossi run underneath the Liberators, which, by the way, of course GuMiho is going to target that down.
Yeah.
You always want to try to target down any robo unit you can in a fight. I mean, literally any robo unit. It's probably going to make you win the fight in the long run.
Yeah, the more that they retain robo units, the more value that they gain. GuMiho's army getting pretty darn big. Adding ghosts in, he's about to have his 2-2 finish as well. Deer is just having started his 2-2 and taking a 4th base. We have quite a few Vikings popping out right now as well. Well, you know, it's kind of a big map. We haven't seen any TVPs here professionally as of yet, but it's interesting just how hesitant GuMiho is to move out and attack more. I feel, though, like we are just, again, continuing to watch him grow as a player. Because he's in this position where he's ahead for sure, and it feels like he's getting more ahead, which I think is an important thing. But a lot of times in TVP, Terrans will try to finish the Protoss off because they're afraid of their late game, but it feels like the way that GuMiho is teching up and adding all these pieces just in the right time, he's not really that afraid of Protoss getting a bit more.
Yeah, I think he just wants to play a cautious game. Here we go, stimming forward. He's going to be able to get the Disruptor here.
This could be a sick Disruptor hit. Oh, that Disruptor hit was insane!
And the Storm follow-up is pretty good, too. Good splitting, though, by GuMiho. I'm afraid, though, that he might just have too much in general.
Yeah.
GuMiho, I think, can just swamp this area with his infantry.
Maybe. He's coming in with the rest of his units now. He does have some more Psystorms, I think. And he's going to have another Disruption shot in a second here if he doesn't lose it.
The Nexus is already destroyed on the right.
Yeah, that is true. It's tough. If he can clear this, maybe there's still a shot in this game. He's got some valuable units. He is doing some counter-harassment as well.
Landing the Vikings. Now there's going to be an infantry flank here as more reinforcements come down. This pushes the Immortals on the outside. No War Prism to try to micro this. The Zealots here from Deer are doing a decent amount of damage, but I don't think that can match what's actually happening on Deer's side of the map, where GuMiho is going to be destroying expansion after expansion.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Zealot harassment's doing all right, but how do you ever clear this up at this point? He's making Disruptor.
The thing is that the Terran's army is so much stronger, is so much better.
He might be able to, like, clear this one group, but I'm not even sure of that.
Yeah, actually, I don't even think he can do that.
Yeah, maybe not. GuMiho expanding here once again.
I think we're moments away from seeing GG.
I think you're right.
This is just too much.
A very hard day for Deer here. I'm really sad for him.
Yeah, I actually genuinely feel bad for the guy.
That was a tough day.
He had high expectations for himself, and everybody else did as well, and he's actually going to be the first player eliminated here in the round of 16 Group B.
Deer's got nothing left here. GG.
GG.
Okay. So Deer actually loses his group in last place. You can see he is devastated right now. This is tough, man. Like last year, you know, like everyone was saying how good he was. It was kind of a disappointing year for him, even though he got into the round of 8 and stuff. Here this season, last season, he loses to Maru in the round of 8, but puts up a pretty decent fight for someone fighting against Maru. And here he is in the round of 16, last place in his group, getting cheesed twice by Su, losing a couple tough games where GuMiho is doing some early attacks, although I wouldn't call him cheese. Wow, that's a disappointing day.
Our final match is up next, GuMiho versus Su. We'll be right back.
Girl, I wanna know your secrets. Come on, tell me everything. I love when you talk to